Hi guys, James here from Wiggle, and today we're going to be looking at the new Garmin 1030 Plus that was released earlier on in the week and the main differences from the old 1030 unit. So straight out of the box, the first obvious difference on the 1030 Plus over the old 1030 is that it loses the white bumper that used to go around the edge of the unit. Now it's just a nice stealth blackout look, which I think a lot more people will be a fan of. But otherwise, from the top, basically looks identical to the old 1030 unit. Things start to get a little bit different when you look at the bottom of the unit. So it loses the old SD card slot. So there's no external memory that you can add to the unit now, although Garmin have been nice enough to add 32 gig of internal storage, so it should be plenty for everyone that needs to upload routes and maps to the unit. Another small change that some of you might not notice as well, but they've actually changed the speaker location on the unit as well, which is louder, so it should be able to produce sound much easier for you to hear for those of you that keep the beeps on your Garmin. So on the topic of the louder beeper, we do actually have a different tone to the old Garmin 1030 and all the other Garmin units. This will only be noticeable to people who have been using Garmin for a few years now, I imagine, but it's just got a slightly different tone. I'll see if I can show you here. Can you tell the difference? So one of the new features that they've included is daily workouts. So this syncs up to Garmin Connect, so if you've already got workouts on your Phoenix watch or you've got workouts synced up to your Connect account, they will automatically pop up when you turn your 1030 Plus on. And when you click on workouts, you can see the suggested workout that you've got for your day, which is a nice touch. Another nice touch that Garmin have added to the new 1030 Plus is that you have free global maps to install from Garmin Express. So although it will come with your local maps installed, so if you buy it in the UK, you'll get European maps. If you buy it in America, you'll get North American maps put on there. But you can simply log on to Garmin Express and install free global maps, which is a new thing from Garmin, which is a really nice touch, as a lot of their competition were doing that already. So Garmin Livetrack has been around for a long time, but Livetrack now has a new functionality where it shares the course. So the actual route that you've uploaded to do on your ride will be shared with Livetrack with your friends and family, so they actually know where you are on your ride, what percentage of the ride you've done and how you're kind of getting on. So it gives them just that little bit more information than what they had before. Now they've got that extra level of safety to find out exactly where you are and what you're up to. And just a little tip here, Garmin are going to feature this in some of their older models too. So in new firmware updates coming soon, expect to see that on your current model. So Garmin have been working in the background updating firmware just to make life easier for you when you buy new units. So it will remember every single sensor that you've synced up to a previous Garmin unit via Garmin Connect and automatically upload it straight to your new device. So when you stick it straight on your bike, it's gonna connect to all the sensors that you've already had, like DI2, your heart rate monitor, and it will just be ready to go. It also saves the names of what you called them as well, so there's no confusion there. So we've all been on a ride where we've got our head unit set up and we're following the route and something happens, like the road shut, or there's a coffee shop that you've seen that you want to go to, or your friend says, oh, I want to go this way. So it always seems to mess up navigation on head units a lot of the time. But Garmin have come up with 3 easy options for when you go off route. So option number 1 is you can rejoin the route from where you left. So it will automatically find a new route to go back to where you left, so you continue on your current course and then carry on as normal. Option number 2 is you can rejoin your course later on. So let's say you see a nice trail to the side, you can do the trail and then it will link you back up to your course later on. So you can basically add a little section to the original course, which gives you that really nice option for exploring. So if you see things that you would usually want to do, but you just think, oh, am I going to lose my spot on my navigation? That's no longer a problem. And the third option that you've got is basically to cut across the course to get to where you needed to go. So that can be quite a dramatic cut off your ride. So as well as being really suitable for road users like it always has been, it's now a really good unit for mountain bikers. And you can tell this because they've added a few features like, for example, they've added trail forks. So you can set a radius to how far you want to search for trails, and it will show you all the best trails and their difficulty rating all nearby to you. So you can always find out whether it's a good trail or not before you end up riding down a dodgy old footpath. So the new unit also incorporates some mountain bike dynamics, which is just a really nice fun touch. So it gives you a flow rating for the trail that you're on, and it also gives you a airtime dynamic as well, which is quite fun. So it gives you a aspect of something to improve on each trail that you're going down, as well as just the fastest time that you can possibly get. So Garmin have increased the battery life in the 1030 Plus, and now you can get up to 24 hours battery use out of it, which is pretty impressive. It does that with all the bells and whistles going, so that's with full screen brightness and as many sensors as you could pair up to your bike. So if you actually were to dial down the brightness a bit and run less sensors on the bike, you can actually get up to 48 hours battery life out of it, which is pretty impressive. For most users using the unit with a couple of sensors and kind of medium to full brightness, you're going to get about 36 hours use out of it. If you are one of those people that's looking to take this on a huge bikepacking adventure where you need it to last as long as possible, it does still have the connectors down at the bottom here, so you can connect it straight up to a battery device unit made from Garmin as well. So some of the old 1030 users did have some small issues with haloing on their screen, and that was basically just a sort of lack of contrast and a sort of bright patch around the outside of the screen. But in the 1030 Plus, they've actually upgraded the screen from the 830, which was a smaller screen. So they've used the same screen in that and just made it the 3.5-inch screen that you see here. So that has given it a little bit more contrast and fixed the problem that the old 1030 had. On the subject of the screen, it's pretty impressive that a touchscreen like this can work in the wet. So you can have this head unit on the front of your bike and it can be covered in water and it will still respond really well to your finger touching the screen and changing the functions on it, and it will even work well with gloves on as well. So a really nice touch if you're using this in dodgy English weather. So in the new 1030 Plus, one of the biggest improvements that I really like from it is that it's got twice the processor power than the old unit. And that's really noticeable when, especially in the navigation mode. So the menu system is really flawless, and when you tap on whatever you want to tap on, it basically responds instantly, and it feels much more like your modern smartphone rather than you're using a vintage old unit. Scrolling through maps is great. It loads really high fidelity detailed maps straight up. It's really handy when you're on the bike, and it does rerouting navigation so much quicker than before. So that awkward moment when you've gone the wrong way and you're deciding whether you're going to turn around or follow your Garmin's new route is a little bit less awkward than it used to be. So basically with the 1030 Plus, you're just losing that lag that you sometimes used to get from the old 1030, which is really, really nice. For all you weight weenies out there, I've got some bad news. The 1030 Plus is officially 1 gram heavier than the old unit. A really nice update that was actually introduced later last year on some older units is you can see the climbs coming in the course that you've created. So if we have a look at a saved course, this is one that I tested the unit on the other day, and then we can look at climbs on the course, and it says I've got 4 climbs and I can click on it. So this one's Ditchling Beacon, and you can see the average grade, the length, and all the important information you need about the climb. And you can simply tap on the arrow at the top to have a look at all of the climbs on your ride, which is just a nice touch and gives you a bit of a heads up on what the climbs are looking like on the ride ahead of you. So all in all, some really nice upgrades on the 1030 Plus. Do you think Garmin have missed anything out? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.